Hi, you guys. This is Aqua Moonlight. Thank you so much for stopping by. So today I'm actually going to do a special reading. It's going to be actually something that I wanted to do when I first started my channel, which is kind of interesting. So I want to just see sort of how the two masculine and feminines are interacting. So sort of like a conversation, I guess you can say. Okay, so I just want to compare the thoughts. Okay, so I think it's kind of sometimes we get so focused on one person, we get so focused on the masculine or on the feminine, but it's important to see how we're interacting with each other. So we're just going to see how this works out. Just going to see what I get through. Today was actually a day when I felt, it's not always that I feel like channeling messages, but I feel a strong pull to do some channeled messages just because I feel like there's messages that are being sent to me that I need to get out somehow. So obviously this is a great way to do it. I feel like there's just stuff right now happening in the collective that just needs to come out. So hopefully we can see what's going on here. Okay, super quick, I want to say a couple things. The first thing I want to say is hopefully it's not too dim in here. I don't know if that's what I was going to say, but I want to say it now. I only have one light in here, and I get really inspired to do readings in the evening time instead of the daytime. That's just how I am. I'm a night owl too, so I just feel like I feel better now. So if it is a little bit dim, I'm sorry. I'm trying to work on getting a better light. Oh, okay, so a lot of you guys have been asking about a quicker reading just because right now my wait time is up to 4 weeks. It's about 3 to 4 weeks, 3.5 to 4 weeks, depending on when you order. And so I came up with this idea, and I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if a lot of you guys are going to order that reading and it's going to fill up and then I have to take it away. I don't know, but we'll see. And so it's going to be a fast track reading, and I do have this on my Etsy shop now too. I do have an emergency reading. I've had that for a while now, but I have the emergency reading, which is 24 to 48 hours, and then I also have one that's 7 to 10 days. And obviously it is a little bit more expensive, but I'm just trying to tailor to those of you who just need more advice quicker, you know. Okay, so check that out if you're interested. And I think that's all I was going to say, just some changes that I made. Yeah, I think that's it. So let's go ahead and get started. For the sake of the fact, well, one card just flew across here. Let's see what it is. It's the Nine of Cups. Beautiful card. I do feel like some positive things are happening here. So for the sake of the fact that I will be doing the feminine and masculine, like conversation-wise, sort of, like energies-wise, I will just be pulling them off the top after I shuffle. I'm going to shuffle in just a second here, just because it'll be a lot easier that way. So we're going to start with thoughts. I just want to get into the masculine's thoughts and the feminine's thoughts. So this deck right here is going to be the masculine's thoughts. This one's going to be the feminine's thoughts. Right now, sort of like if they could have a conversation, if there could be some words spoken, we're just going to see what comes out, okay? So let's go ahead and get some messages, please, for the thoughts currently of the Divine Masculine. And I'm going to do some channeling here. Definitely feel I'm in the channeling mode. Okay. And this one will be the Divine Feminine's thoughts. So what do we currently have here for the Divine Feminine's thoughts at the moment? Okay, so let's see what's going on. I will be using this deck over here for clarifiers if I need it, and I will shuffle those when I do. All right, so Divine Masculines is saying here, Four of Cups, that there is other things going on. So Four of Cups is the discontent. Four of Cups is the feeling when we are a little bit lacking in our emotional availability, and that's the way I see the Four of Cups. So first things first already, I feel the masculine is saying that right now things are a little bit, either there's just a lot of stuff going on, or it's just this feeling where they're not able to give emotionally. It's not really, they're afraid of being at this place of loss. They're afraid of giving their emotions and then feeling like they're regretting these things. And I feel like that's what's coming through here with the Four of Cups. It is sort of a, to me, it is sort of like when you're alone, but at the same time, you just don't feel like you're ready to give anything. You don't feel like you're ready to invest anything when it comes to emotions, when it comes to giving, when it comes to, it also can point to just being discontent with your surroundings, you know, just not feeling good, just not feeling like you are at this place of availability because you are either self-absorbed, or it's just not happy, you know, not feeling completely happy. So in return to this, the feminines are thinking the Hermit. Okay, so this is the Hermit. So Hermit is a major arcana card. So what I'm seeing here is that it's almost a okay from the feminines to go within. It's almost the fact that the feminines and the masculines are mirroring the same thing about missing opportunities. For the masculines, it's more about the fact that they either have a lot of things going on, a lot of things on their plate at the moment, that they're not emotionally available. For the feminines, it's more on a spiritual level. It's more of a lifestyle that right now they may feel it's okay if you go like, it's okay if I'm not going to be showered by your emotions at the moment because I still have to seek myself too. Or the feminines are also saying that this is time for the masculines to seek themselves as well. Because this is about solitude, and both of these are already coming through as separate things, as separate ways, sort of. Like I will be here in my own energy, and then the masculines are saying, I'm sorry I can't give. I'm sorry that I can't be at that place where I can give you the emotional availability that you desire and that you need. Okay. Okay, let's get a couple more here. We have the Eight of Wands. You know, this is actually about movement. This is about communication. This is actually a really good positive card. So having this after the Four of Cups, I see this as wanting to come out of stagnation, wanting to come out of this energy of missing these opportunities, of always being that person that doesn't emotionally take the chance. And I feel like that's where the masculines are trying to communicate here, is that they do want to communicate something. They want to communicate something to the feminines, and they want to be able, the thing about the Four of Cups is like, you see how he's just looking down. He's discontent, like it says here. It's like, how should I articulate this? Like somebody who wants to say something, somebody who wants to seize the opportunity, but they don't feel like they have the energy to, almost. So I feel like there are some things that the masculine want to say, especially coming through in the mental space. This is a pretty good indication that there are things that the masculine wants to say. And I just had the craziest deja vu right now. Oh my God. So, okay. So we're going to see what the feminine has to say. You know, detach. So the fact that we've had two major arcana cards for the feminine is telling me that the feminines right now are actually going through a really big transitional period. And not to say the masculines aren't, but it's a stuck energy for the masculines where it's almost a less stuck energy for the feminines. So I feel like in return to the masculines wanting to communicate possibly, or trying to seize this opportunity to move forward, the feminines are actually detaching. And this is the Justice card. So it is about the fact that right now there has to be justice's balance. There has to be, the feminines need this justice. They need this communication from the masculines that will clear the air, that will serve to explain this whole energy that's been going on. And I feel like this is really the feminines taking their step away from the connection because of the fact that the masculines have not come through and acted upon these things. So from what I'm seeing so far, the masculines are actually wanting to come out of this and communicate something, and the feminines may not be having it. The feminines may be saying in return that it is time to detach because they are in their decisive place with the Justice card. So let's get a couple of messages for what does the masculine want to communicate here. What does the masculine want to communicate? Wow, we have a lot of cards here. First of all, we have the Six of Cups, soulmate connection. We have the Five of Swords, struggle. We have the Knight of Swords, the King of Cups, the Five of Pentacles. Okay. Lots of the same cards that we've been getting. Lots of fives again. Okay, so the Lovers. The Lovers is this choice. Okay, the Five of Swords is this conflict, this internal conflict that the masculines are still having. What do they want to communicate here is something about the fact that their emotions, the King of Cups, the Knight of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, the Six of Cups at the bottom, this is something that they feel drawn to. So this connection that they want to communicate these feelings to is still very much an internal battle. With the Lovers and the Five of Swords and the Knight of Swords, this is almost this energy where the masculines want to come through quickly and then they withdraw back. They want to come through quickly and then they withdraw back. And I feel like this is partially what the Four of Cups is about, is because we're stuck in this place of just apathy. We're stuck in this place of not really realizing our worth or not getting past somewhere. It's like when you're reliving the same things, which could be why I have deja vu. Weird. Five of Pentacles. Feeling this lack within yourself here, or a fear of rejection when it comes to reaching out, when it comes to acting upon that instinct, that feeling. We have the King of Cups, acting upon emotions. Okay, so King of Cups is about the mastery of your emotions. So what do they want to communicate? I feel like they want to come through with some form of a truth here about the connection. The Six of Cups, the King of Cups, the Lovers. It is also a choice. It's a battle. Okay, there's lots of different scenarios here if somebody is involved with another partner. Let's get a couple cards for the feminine, please. Yeah, you know, and this is the thing. The feminines are standing true in their Empress state. So regardless if you're masculine or feminine, another major arcana card. So you see how the feminines have detached because the balance was not given. So they feel like they've always been giving too much and the masculines have not been giving that in return. So we have and not to put down the masculines in any way, shape, or form, but we have three major arcana cards for the feminines. They've realized that this is an okay thing. It may be time to detach anyway. It's time to seek myself out. It's time for you, Divine Masculine, to seek yourself out because I value my worth now. And there's something about putting the balance back into the connection, putting the balance back into their own lives. And that's where the feminines are currently at, is realizing their worth, realizing who they are. And the masculines are going back and forth between the fact that they know they've missed opportunities. They want to rush in here with this truth, and then they feel mentally conflicted. They don't know exactly what to do. They feel like one minute they want to do this, the next minute they want to do that. It's a constant choice for them, even though they realize the connection. There's this irrational fear about being left out here, being left out in the cold, possibly because of wounds from previous relationships, or just because they're afraid of exposing these feelings. And that's still what's going on here. It's kind of the same stuff here, but I feel like we have lots of core lessons for the feminines coming through, and for the masculines there is still this energy where they're having trouble getting past the Four of Cups, getting past discontentment, getting past just existing with your emotions and not giving your emotions, not being available for your emotions. Okay, last card. Exactly. We have the Seven of Pentacles. The masculines are waiting and waiting and waiting and stuck. And I feel like this is coming through as really the masculines clearly here saying, be patient and wait. Be patient and wait for me to come through. And, you know, it's sort of like 1 minute I feel, and I get lots of messages coming through today. It's like 1 minute they feel like reaching out. 1 minute they feel like they need to go forward to their truth. They know that this is the right choice. They know that this is obviously Six of Cups is someone that they're drawn to. And then they go back. And then they go back to this feeling of lack. They go back to this feeling of, it's almost like they leave themselves out in the cold. Okay, that just popped here in my mind. They leave themselves out in the cold. They do it to themselves. Seven of Cups. This card was just at the bottom of the deck and it flew out. So Seven of Cups for the feminines. This is decisions. Okay, so to me, what this is saying is having the, actually, look at this, how the mirroring is going on here. We have the 7 and we have the 7. We have 2 sevens. So with the masculine saying that it's time to be patient, it's time to wait for this, it's time that I need to get myself in order when it comes to the physical world, when it comes to actually setting the foundation for something, before I put this work into the connection, before I actually take the committed step to going towards this dedicated effort with the connection, the feminines are saying that it's time to make a decision, or the fact that the feminines still have this place where they are also still waiting. And I don't think it's waiting as much as it is weighing the pros and cons about everything. With the Seven of Cups, it's like they still have different cups in the air. They may have different opportunities. They may have different situations going on, different love interests, different whatever it is. And it's like, should you focus on that one cup or not? Is it worth my effort to leave this one cup here of the masculine to come back to me? Okay. So it's like, out of those 7 cups, one of them is the masculine. One of them is something you cherish, something that you want to go forward to. At the same time, you're valuing yourself here with the Empress. And so with the 6 of Pentacles, it's like, unless this balance is being put back, you're not sure what to do. You're not sure if you're going to invest your time into that one cup, that even though you want that cup, even though it's an emotion of yours, you're not sure if you're going to accept this patiently waiting offer. Okay. All right. So that's just like the basic of, I feel, what's going on in terms of if the masculine and feminine could have a conversation. Obviously, I'm not going to sit here and do a complete conversation like they say this and then you say this, but I'm giving you the basics of what I feel right now is going on. What I feel is going on with the feminine finally involved in the picture, rather than just focusing on what the masculine is going through. So a fear of being left out. Oh, just a waiting energy where I just don't know what to do. I want to do it, then I don't. I want to rush in, then I don't. So there's definitely lots of movement though, but there's also the 4 of Cups, which is about the emotional investment. So even if they come through with some form of communication, is it really time to do it yet? And that's still what the masculines are trying to get their point across, I feel, is that I need time. I need time. Keeps coming, the message that comes through is I need time to sort myself out. Okay. And the feminines are also 1 minute, I mean, most of them I feel are detaching and moving forward because they need this justice. But at the same time, we do have this thing here where I don't know whether I'm making the right choice to actually completely cut this off. So I want to go into emotions. I want to go into feelings. Okay, I want to go into what's going on here. I've really been liking this deck a lot. This is the Wisdom of the House of the Night by P.C. Cass and Colette Baron Reed. Okay, let's... really wanted to use this. Okay, let's use this here for the masculine's emotions. So what do we need to know here when it comes to what the masculine wants to convey emotionally? Where's the heart? And this one is the feminine. When it comes to the feminine's heart, what does the feminine need to say from the heart or feelings-wise? Let's just look into the emotions. The Warrior. The thing is that the masculines are not giving up. So when it comes to these emotions, this is something that the masculines are still very invested in. And the thing that's confusing, I think, to the feminines is they're not sure how that is either still existing or how their actions are not meeting their words or their emotions. But this card here is about somebody who wants to put in the loyal effort to something, somebody who wants to stick by their side no matter what. That's what this card is all about. So when it comes to the emotional aspect, it is still something that they're investing in when it comes to their heart, okay? When it comes to their thoughts, when it comes to their actions, maybe not. But when it comes to their actual emotional draw towards something, we're talking about them wanting to fight for the connection, wanting to be a warrior, wanting to step up to that plate. Could also be about guards, just because the warrior to me does sound like somebody who's always trying to fight for their truth. There's a lot of just the same type of conflict that's going on. And so the feminines, we have the storm warning. Both of these are very shadowy type cards here. So what I'm feeling is with the feminines, we have a lot of emotions here. So the storm is like this tornado of emotions, this whole whirlwind of emotions when it comes to their hearts, when it comes to their feelings. We're not talking about logic. We're not talking about just the way that you talk or the way that you act. We're talking about the way that you feel. And so for the feminines, there is this constant storm inside of their heart where they feel this tornado, you know? You feel like you're being ripped apart sometimes because you don't know exactly what's going on. And that's what I feel. It's like, to me, I don't know. I'm getting this feeling with the warrior. It's like he's not acting upon his desires, though. With the warrior, he's not really doing what he says he's going to do. Even though he wants to fight for what he wants, I don't feel he's making the actions to do so. Because the warrior is not it just seems like somebody who just wants to fight rather than emotionally connect. We have love. So I love it. The fact that we have the love card, and it's funny because every single time when I do the public readings from this deck over here, I think we've gotten the love card every time since I've gotten the deck, and I just got it, I think, a month ago. So I feel like Spirit is reiterating, yes, the love is there. We're talking about emotions. I pulled these to see what the emotions are. So the masculines, how are they feeling inside their heart? They're feeling love. And the thing about the warrior is the same thing I said here. It's like I need to fight for my truth before I expose my heart. So whatever truth that is, the Five of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, rejection, abandonment, just feeling like you have to put up this wall, you can't let anyone in. And that's where I feel what's going on here. So yes, the love is there. The love is tender. The love is always there. But when it comes to being a warrior, when it comes to stepping up to the plate to other opportunities that are calling you, like with the Four of Cups, I may have to put you over here on hold because I need to be a warrior for other things in my life at the moment, because love is still not at the place where I can be vulnerable, where I can expose myself. And so the feminines over here are wondering, why is that you're not coming through with the storm warning? It's confusing. It's a storm. Yeah, why are you not holding your heart to me? Man holding a heart. So the fact that this came through with the feminines, it's about, and I just had a message pop in my mind too about other suitors. So the feminines may be thinking, you know, for some of you guys, maybe you're trying to date around, maybe you're trying to connect with others, maybe you're in a karmic partner, maybe you're in a marriage. And it's like almost this feeling of not knowing which way to go, not knowing whether you should accept somebody else's offer or whether you should still wait inside of this turmoil that you may have in your heart. And that could go back to where we had the Seven of Cups. We have choices. We have different cups in the air, and one of those cups is your masculine. And I feel like with the masculines over here, they still have to fight for something else before they're able to give their love. And so this is this constant battle here when it comes to the emotions. Wow, it's forbidden. That's really interesting to me. So the fact that we have the warrior, love, and forbidden is that right now the emotions are forbidden. And that's what I was saying here. It's almost like this complete block. So when we're talking about something forbidden, we're either talking about a contract they have to live through before they're able to reveal their heart, before they're able to, it could be just something that when we're talking about a twin flame relationship, that it was just not time, or it has not been time, obviously, to go down that route. It's the forbidden doorway. So the way that they feel emotionally is that right now, this is forbidden for me to go towards my feminine in a loving manner, because again, the warrior to me is coming through as this energy where they have to have other things that they need to fight for. Or they have to live out and complete other battles in their life before they're able to be the loving romantic side of themselves. And so until they're able to give their heart here, man holding a heart. So the feminines over here are waiting for the masculine to give them their heart. So it's actually forbidden. So in the masculine's mind, it's actually forbidden to them, where I just can't handle it. I can't go down that route. Or karmically speaking, they have another relationship, they have another marriage or whatever that they just can't. It's not, it's a locked door. So it's so interesting to me how we have two men here for the feminine side. We have the man holding a heart and the thinking man. Again, if you're dealing with the different genders here, it doesn't really matter. But, you know, for most, it may be this way. So I feel like with the thinking man, we have the feminine still wondering what the masculines are thinking in terms of holding a heart, in terms of this turmoil that they are having inside. So if there were to be a conversation between how do you really feel, the feminines are saying, I don't know how you really, what is it that you desire? What is it that you want? Are you going to offer me this or are you not? So we have this turmoil that the feminines are wanting to communicate to the masculines, and the masculines are shielding themselves from love, shielding themselves from this connection because it's forbidden somehow. Huh. So I want to see here, why did the masculines think that this is forbidden? Well, that was quick. We had justice. As I was saying, there's something about karma here. Oh, no, never mind. This isn't justice. It looks the same as justice. But we have the Four of Swords, okay, and we have the Hanged Man. So since justice came up in my head, I guess justice is also playing a part. With the Four of Swords, though, this is a break. So why the masculines aren't coming through, both of these cards are exactly about the same thing to me right now. Is about it's not the right time. Because Four of Swords, you're just laying there, you're resting. This card here, you're hanging there upside down. You're not doing anything. Either way, you're not doing anything. Page of Cups, you're not coming through to offer the connection. So it's always going to be different situations for everybody, but the bottom line is when it comes to the emotions for the masculine, yes, love is there. And that's what I think a lot of feminines, not everybody, but a lot of feminines get confused that obviously if they're not coming through with the love, then they don't have the love. They don't feel the love. And that's not what I'm really picking up on at all. I'm picking up on that simply it had to be laid to rest for now until I do these other things to put it on hold. To offer you my cup, to offer you my innocence until I'm cleared from all of this other baggage. I can't come through and offer you this pure, innocent type of offer. Yeah. It's not, you know, it's blocked here. Two of Swords. Couple confirmations for the feminine's emotions. Yeah, the Six of Cups. So the feminines are there. You know, the feminines are emotionally there. Yes, there was a little bit of a detachment, I do think, because we had that earlier, but it's a detachment of protection. It's a detachment to protect the feminine self as well, because if it has not come through yet, they're going to walk away. The Eight of Cups here, because their emotions are not, their emotional needs were not being met. And, okay. But with the Six of Cups, this is the reconciliation. This is the return. This is the realization that has always been there for a lot of feminines, that this is my twin flame. This is somebody who, you know, but I have to walk away because you have not realized this or because you haven't offered me this just yet. The Tower. To me, Eight of Cups, the Tower, the crumbling down, the point when it's the breaking point. It's the breaking point. We have the Storm and the Tower. So I feel like the feminines have been the ones from an emotional standpoint that have walked away when it comes to the fact that they were not getting their needs met in the emotional department. Because the masculines, they just couldn't get there. They just couldn't get there. You know, at least not right now. They couldn't get to this place of Page of Cups. It just was it's too difficult for them to, it's forbidden. It's too difficult for them to expose this part of themselves. Okay. Okay. So the last thing I'm going to do here, and I don't, let's go ahead and see here. I just want to get some final oracle cards. I'm not going to use those. About actions. No, let's do final messages. What does the masculine want to say here? What does the masculine want to say? I just want to wrap this up. I want to keep this mental and emotional. I don't want to mix anything here. I just wanted to channel some messages, and I think I have. So let's go ahead and just see some last final messages from the masculine to the feminine, please. Anything at all that the masculines want the feminines to know. Anything at all. I'm only going to keep it to the masculines just because a lot of you are more of the masculine than the feminine, okay? So don't take offense if you're feminine. I just feel like most of you are. That's just how it is. Any last final messages that the masculines want to say to the feminines, please? Seven of Wands. It's, it's this constant battle. The Seven of Wands, it's like this fighting again. So Seven of Wands is also about fighting for what you want, but it's also the same type of conflict that we have within ourselves. We have mental repetition. So I'm getting a couple things here is that the first thing I feel that the masculines are thinking, they're thinking about this long and hard. They're going back and forth in their mind about thinking about this. Like I had said in the very beginning, their mental space is filled with these thoughts about the connection, is filled with these, wanting to maybe say something, wanting to be drawn to that forbidden doorway, but they're not allowed to, or they don't feel like they can face it. So with the Seven of Wands, you see how it looks a little angry, it looks hostile. So I feel like what the masculines are really trying to say here is that right now, there are still other obligations, there are still other things, but there are a lot of mental thoughts when it comes to the connection. The Hanged Man seems to be the theme here today. The Hanged Man. Yeah, it's just delays. It's they're learning though. And the thing is that they're learning. And this is, with the Hanged Man, it's like, yes, I've been stuck. Yes, I'm still stuck. But they are learning. And learning is about taking what comes to you and actually moving forward and making progress with this. And mental repetition to me is also thinking about the actions that you've done, thinking about things that have gone wrong, and turning those things around and seeing things in a way that you've learned from the mistakes, you've learned from your actions. And so don't doubt that they're not learning from their actions when it comes to seeing things in a completely new way. Okay. Last message is the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so this could be for some earth signs out there, earth sign females. Queen of Pentacles to me, though, is about being understanding. It's about being grounded. It's about being very sensual. It's a lot of things like that where we're really talking about being in our full-on grounded state of mind. And I feel like this is something that the masculines are trying to sequentially move towards. Okay. We have intention. I love how this is a number 11 card that we closed up with too. Intention is about having the intention for something, and I think it was the reading I did before where we had intent. What are they working on? They're working on their intent. They're working on how to really come from a more understanding, grounded place. And that's where this is coming through as. So yes, wanting to make movements forward, making progress forward. When it comes to the physical world too, making progress forward, but needing compassion, needing understanding as well. And so, okay. I was drawn to look at the bottom, and it's the 10 of Cups. This is happiness. This is your happy ending here, that they have not forgotten their happy ending. Okay. Self-love. It's about self-love. So I hope you like that. I just wanted to do something quick just to channel some messages. I felt like that was the easiest way to do that. So hopefully you guys found something from that. You took something away from this message. I know a lot of it just comes through kind of the same messages, but that's just how it is. You know, energy doesn't change rapidly when it comes to this connection. So hopefully, at least for some of you guys, you can feel connected to some of those. And as always, I'm sending you all the blessings and love and support through this time. I will be back for some other readings. And as always as well, I am open to suggestions. Okay, and much love.